welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow Season 10. It's been 10 seasons of empowering India's small businesses such as yourselves and hand-holding and guiding you in your growth journey. I'm Sunanda Jaiseelan. On the show tonight, we are continuing our Diwali edition with a very special conversation with India's largest e-com player, Amazon India. Manish Tiwari, Country Manager, India Consumer Business, Amazon India. Manish, thanks for your time. I'm sure this is a very busy period for you, but you've managed to speak with us here exclusively on the Leaders of Tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time. Let's start by talking about the Amazon Great Indian Festival. How are things going? What can you tell us?
Hi, my name is Manish Tiwari. I lead the e-commerce business for Amazon in India. And the last few weeks have been very, very eventful for us. We in Amazon India have two flagship events every year. One is, of course, focused on our Prime customers and Prime members, which is the Prime Day. And the second one, which is a celebration across the country. It's nothing about Amazon or e-commerce. It's across. It's for all our customers, which is the Amazon Great Indian Festival. This 30-day celebration event syncs in with celebrations across the country. Starting from Dussehra, moving on to Diwali, Dhanteras. So across the country, if you see, people are celebrating this month. And that's what the Amazon Great Indian Festival is all about. It's our premier event. And our seller partners, our delivery partners literally spend months and months preparing for this event.
Are you seeing specific trends during this festive period that perhaps you haven't seen in previous years? What can you tell us on that?
Yeah, there are a few trends we are observing, and some of them are getting accelerated as we see, especially due to pandemic. I think the first thing is we are seeing more and more customers from smaller cities coming online. We saw it during the pandemic, and this Diwali, this Amazon Great Indian Festival, we saw this getting further accelerated. Close to 80% of our new customers now come from smaller towns. So that's trend number one. The second trend, which is very interesting, is it's not just restricted to customers. The sellers also, more and more sellers are now joining us, the Amazon.in marketplace from smaller cities. If you look at this particular Diwali season, we have close to 200,000 plus local stores which have joined Amazon.in to participate in this function. So I think the second trend is more and more sellers are coming online, and they're coming from smaller towns and cities, and more importantly, more and more smaller shops. These shops experience the benefit of selling online during the pandemic when a lot of them could not do business as normal, and they continue to enroll. So that's the second large trend. I think the third is as we get into the next 100 million customers, consumers enjoy shopping using their own language. So as you are aware, you can shop in 8 different languages on Amazon.in. It will be Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Marathi, Bengali. So we give the choice to our customers. Until date, more than 50 million customers have shopped using their regional languages. This trend further continues into voice shopping. So we see a very, very high adoption of people using voice for shopping. So the third trend is all about customizing for local requirements, local languages, and voice shopping. The other trend which is very, very prominent this season is, and it's probably a reflection of what's happening all around us, customers are looking to buy their favorite brand, but they want to do it in a manner in which they don't have to put down a very large sum of money. I think a couple of things which are slightly more unique to Amazon. We've always experienced consumers buying across categories. So right from electronics to grocery to fashion to home, we've always seen that. I think what's happening more and more is brands and sellers have now made Amazon Great Indian Festival such a critical part of the calendar that they actually plan most of their big launches around this festival. So if you look at it, we had close to 2,000 launches on Amazon.in at the start of the Amazon Great Indian Festival, and that's huge. And it starts from electronic brands like Samsung, LG, Whirlpool, goes on to fashion brands like Puma, Levi's, CPG brands like Nestle, Dabur. So it's becoming a very prominent event in the calendar of even our brand partners.
What about just in terms of sheer growth during this festive period versus previous years? You know, how are things changed? What trends there can you call out for us?
Yeah, I think what we've experienced, so we don't, festival season is still on, and at the end of the season we'll share more details on how the festival went. But let me give you a few lead indicators. If I had to summarize, the Amazon Great Indian Festival till date has been above our expectations and planning, which is a good place to be in. So we always keep some headroom to ensure our customers always get their deliveries. Some of the places where we need more people, so we hired like 70,000 more people just for the festival season to make sure our deliveries work well. But getting back to the numbers, let me give you a flavor of it. So during Prime Early Access, we actually recruited close to 1.9 times new Prime members compared to last Diwali, and that gives you a lead indicator of how customers are getting onto the shopping season. If you look at any of our businesses, be it Amazon devices, be it Fire Sticks, compared to BAU, which is business as usual, a normal shopping day, our spike has been anywhere from 40x to 100x. We've seen similar spikes across our categories. Of course, there are categories like wireless, televisions, grocery, fashion, where the business has actually performed well ahead of the plan we had. I think three things which we look out in terms of identifying the success of Amazon Great Indian Festival. First is the number of sellers who've been successful. I think that's very critical for us, and we are tracking well ahead of plan. So this is basically the number of SMB sellers, the number of brands, the number of local shops who saw success during Amazon Great Indian Festival. Second is the number of Prime members who join us, because that's important for our flywheel, and like I shared with you, it was close to twice of what it was last year. And third, of course, is the customer engagement we have. Across the various things which our sellers and the marketplace had put together, most metrics at customer engagement are at an all-time high. There were some new things which we launched this year. For example, we had Amazon Live, so there are close to 150 influencers. They have live programs on Amazon.in. You can actually join when the influencer is sharing about the product category. It could be electronics, it could be fashion, it could be cooking, and it's in national and regional languages. And we're going to have close to 600 of them, and I think it's turning out to be a customer delight when we look at the number of customers who are engaging with it. The second one, which is called Diamonds Program, this is a program which actually rewards customers. As you know, Amazon.in, you can actually shop, you can pay your bills. We have such an ecosystem of services which we offer. By engaging in any of these activities, our customers earn diamonds. So if you decide to watch Mini TV, which is a free-to-air small content program which we have on Amazon.in, you could earn diamonds, and then these diamonds can be redeemed for various activities. Like if you want to buy a camera, you could redeem some of your diamonds. And what I'm personally quite delighted about is close to 50% of the diamonds our customers had received, they've already redeemed during Diwali, which clearly shows that the customer engagement is very good. So on all these three metrics, seller, Prime members, new customers, and customer engagement, I am very, very pleased with what we've seen so far during the sale event.
One of the trends, Manish, I'd like to understand is that during this festive period, are you seeing more sales happening online versus footfalls in retail stores? What can you tell us?
I think, most of our customers, especially Prime and settled customers, they shop across categories. I often get asked this question, What category do they prefer? Let me put it this way. Most of our customers would shop in electronics, grocery and home. These are the large categories. And when I say home, I'm including fashion and home and kitchen in that. But let me touch upon a few of them. So one of the things which we've seen this year, which is much more accentuated than earlier, is the sale of our 5G models. All our brand partners, Samsung, OnePlus, Apple, they've clearly indicated that 5G phones have done really, really well. Similarly, on the consumer electronics part of it, we've seen a clear uptake on gaming laptops. Clearly, there seems to be a very, very big demand. And it's almost as if the gaming community was waiting for Amazon Great Indian Festival to sort of actually buy their next version. And as you're aware, gaming laptops are configured a little differently, focused on the gaming community. I think on the grocery side, we've seen a shift towards ready to eat, and of course the dry fruit, which is the normal part of the season where people buy a lot of those gifting packs. Fashion, it's been across. We can clearly see that with work from home actually sort of going down, more and more people are buying beauty products, are buying more formal clothes, more formal footwear. So we can clearly see that trend happening. There are some new trends which we've seen this year. So for example, our sale of movie tickets, flight tickets have really taken off this season. Similarly, the number of people who are engaging with some of our Amazon Pay products, for example, Amazon co-branded credit card with ICICI. It's the fastest growing co-branded credit card in the country. We've seen a lot of engagement on that front. So there are some highlights across categories and some across programs like Mini TV, Amazon Pay and Amazon Business.
I'll slip into a short break on that note, Manish. Back in just a moment. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow as part of our festive period series. We're talking with Amazon tonight. Manish, one trend that I would love for you to really call out, and I want to pick your brains on at this point, is whether during this Diwali period and this festive period, you're seeing more and more sales happening online versus footfalls across retail stores?
I think in some ways all of us at Amazon feel humbled that we got a chance to serve our customers and our sellers during pandemic. Those were very difficult times, but if you take a step back, customers would depend on marketplaces like Amazon.in for their daily needs, what they wanted, because a lot of those markets were shut. More importantly, there were sellers who need a constant cash flow to run their business, and a lot of time the stores would be closed because of restrictions and they all went online. I think if you fast forward to now, where touchwood, hopefully bulk of the pandemic challenges behind us, that habit continues. I think it shows in some small way we've been able to delight our customers, especially new customers who came online because of pandemic, but they continue to shop with us. But I do want to remind, e-commerce is a very, very small part of the overall retail basket if you look at it. Depending on the report you look at, e-commerce, and when I say e-commerce, I'm putting total e-commerce market, not Amazon.in, would be hardly 3 to 4% of the overall retail market. So I don't think it's about does e-commerce impact offline. One, it's too small. It's almost at a very, very nascent stage. I also think this debate about online, offline is not the right debate, because most of our sellers are actually offline stores, offline distributors who have started selling online. So if you look at any report, there's an ASCOM report, for example, which says that close to 80% of the incremental retail business which will happen in India by 2030 will come from omni-channels. And we are experiencing it every day. Today, a small shop in Bangalore is not only serving customers on the road where it is located, It's also serving customers in Bangalore using Amazon.in and then Karnataka. And by the way, it's such a delight when some of these high quality producers, some of these local shops which actually make products which are very good, earlier did not have a way to access the larger market. Now they do. And a lot of them eventually end up joining our global selling program. Just like to share that we have a global selling program which has more than 100,000 sellers. And by 2025 cumulatively, we would have exported close to $20 billion of goods. So this offline, online is a little bit of an artificial segregation. As brand owners, as retail sellers, as distributors, the Indian entrepreneur will go where the customer goes, will find a way to reach the customer in the most effective manner, and online will play a role in that.
So another trend that I want to discuss very briefly is the trend of offering very compelling discounts by players, whether it's in the e-com space or in the offline space. What can you tell us on that?
Yeah, I think if you look at there are three things in our understanding a consumer cares about. First is the width of selection. Yeah? Consumers like to be able to choose from a wide range of a product in a certain category. At Amazon, we offer more than 100 million products. So consumers get a choice of what they want to. That's the kind of assortment our sellers and our brand partners have put together. The second thing, I wouldn't just call it deals and pricing, I would call it value. And as I said earlier, the Indian customer looks for a good value, and the components of value, price is one of them, or deal as a lot of people call it, but the ability to be able to buy it by leveraging a credit card, a debit card, a banking relationship they have is very, very important, and that gives our customers a chance to buy a product and a brand they love, but still be able to pay it in an installment in an affordable manner. So the affordability part of it is very, very important. And third is the trust and the seamlessness of the experience. So it is saying if I shop from Amazon.in, as you are aware, we have a no questions asked return replacement policy. Yeah, and customers therefore want to shop on Amazon.in. In most parts of the country, you would get your goods within 2 days. And the reliability of delivery is very high. So the overall experience is very important. So I'm just calling it the assortment of the selection, the affordability, and the convenience. I think all these three things are important. It's just not price. Now, our sellers literally prepare, for next year Diwali, they will start preparing in December 22 for Diwali of 23. So they put the right products, they start manufacturing, sourcing the right products, and of course they work very hard so that they can give a pricing or a deal which the customer finds very attractive. So I think this Amazon Great Indian Festival, a combination of the huge brand and seller assortment we have, a combination of new launches and some very good deals, especially backed up by some very good affordability tools. So for example, for the first part of our Amazon Great Indian Festival, SBI debit and credit cards was the banking partner, and you know what the kind of footprint State Bank of India has in this country, and that's very, very important. And third, of course, the way our operations team and our delivery partners continue to give the customer a seamless experience on their doorstep, and of course, no questions asked, return or replacement if ever a problem arises. I think all of it put together is what delights the customer.
How do you really prepare for the kind of rush and the kind of sales that you're seeing?
I think there are three parts to what we do. One is the seller brand part. The second is experience on the marketplace. And third and very critical is the entire operations piece. So let me start with the operations piece because that's the most complex. As of now, we have 60 large FCs, warehouses as you would call it traditionally in this country. We have close to 2,000 delivery stations, 1,900 odd across, and we deliver to almost every pin code in this country. Yeah. Now, the demand keeps on going up every Diwali, and therefore everything from a building plan, last mile station, delivery partner, work starts literally after Diwali. Like I said, this year we added close to 70,000 more people to make sure that the Diwali delivery experience for our customers is delightful. So operations has probably the longest lead time, and touch wood, this is our 10th Diwali, and I take a lot of pride in the efficiency and the seamlessness with which this team delivers, not only during business as usual, but especially during Diwali. The second one is our seller partners. They take a lot of, for them, remember it's their peak month. So we guide the seller partner in terms of what are the trends, what are we seeing on the marketplace. We have various programs like Amazon Launchpad for new brands, Amazon Saheli and Karigar for women entrepreneurs, cottage sector industries. So our account managers start working on what they think are the right trends. It's an exchange of ideas from the sellers and from our teams, and they literally start planning the sourcing and the logistics for their products. And on the marketplace side, our product and program managers keep on thinking of how to delight customers. Like I said, this year we had Diamonds, Amazon Live. You could pre-book some of the new launches. So we constantly try to raise the bar to meet our customer expectations. It's literally a 12-month annual planning for this 1-month event.
Does holiday marketing require for you to go that extra mile, Manish?
Yeah, I think time and again the marketing team and what we offer to our customers, we managed to establish Amazon as the most trusted marketplace in the mind of our customers in India. And if you look at this year's campaign, we're coming out of pandemic. This is probably the first time in 3 years where we would be physically meeting a lot of our relatives, our neighbors, and celebrating it together. And if you take a step back, every time you meet someone who's wearing a nice new dress, carrying a new laptop, what's the question which comes to your mind? And I'm going to say it in Hindi because that's how the strength of that insight comes across. Kahan se liya? Yeah, you always ask the person, where did you buy it from? And this Diwali, the campaign is focused around this strong insight of kahan se liya, and this Amazon Great Indian Festival, this 30 days. When you ask anyone kahan se liya, the chances are the customer would say Amazon se liya. So the entire campaign is focused around this very strong and basic customer insight of kahan se liya. And I think what I have heard back from customers, the kind of response we are seeing, I think it's connecting with our customers very, very well.
All right, Manish, thank you so much for your time. I'm sure you have a lot that you need to get back to. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on the show. Out of time on tonight's conversation. If you have any feedback for us, do let us know. Our details on your screens as we speak. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.